when it's all said and done, you know, he could wind up in that conversation. The question is it all said and done now anyway? And so you could knock me over with a proverbial feather that when I started diving into Super Bowl 56 coverage when I got home, because again, I was on the air for 8.5 hours, and then at the stadium, I did not hear a lick of NBC, sorry, Peacock, coverage. That Rodney Harrison had said on the pregame show that he'd spoken to Aaron Donald, who's thinking of retiring if they win the Super Bowl. And then I thought to myself, all right, let's see what Aaron Donald's got to say. And then Aaron Donald spoke about it and didn't dismiss it. He didn't like shoot it down. Here's what he had to say.
I'm just in the moment right now. I'm enjoying this with my family. I got my kids. I promised my daughter this when she was 5 years old. They're playing the confetti. She got to do that today. Was that fun? So nice. I'm just in the moment right now. I'm enjoying this with my teammates, my family. And I'm just gonna be in the moment and enjoy this today. For a couple days, how about that? It's a blessing.
And then his daughter's standing there next to him with confetti in her hand, like he promised her to play in confetti. She gets to do it, and then she's at the podium with Dad, holding it like she won't give it up. She's just gonna hang on to it. And I love that stuff. It gets you emotional when you see that. And, I can't, leaving that child to go to practice and all that stuff. And, again, there's a human element to this thing that you have to factor in and not being around. But he's 30. Les Snead, after the game, said he had heard that and he said, quote unquote, I'm not buying it, is what he said. Now, when I heard that, I took that to mean that he knows how much of a competitor Aaron Donald is, and he's not ready to walk away with. You can't even say he's got stuff left in the tank. He's got a Ferrari still,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's truly the best defensive player in the game today. Yeah. And that's knowing T.J. Watt won Defensive Player of the Year award, deservingly so, because of his circumstances and his story and the fact that this guy's already got 3. He's called game. How many times has he called game this year for this team? We like just 3? Off the top of our head, 3, right? Against Arizona in the regular season. When they got, by the way, they needed that in order to leapfrog Arizona and get into the pole position in the division that they eventually won. Against the Niners, he just went straight at Jimmy G when this game was on the line, right?
Jimmy G, yeah.
And then last night in the Super Bowl. In addition to coming up with a sack to keep it a 1-score game after momentum had clearly put on a Tiger pattern, Didn't
he hit Kyler in the end zone too to force that weird pick 6 in the first playoff game?
Was that him?
I can't remember.
I don't know.
I feel like it looked exactly like the Burrow playoff.
He also hit Burrow so hard on the sideline yesterday. I think that kind of woke everybody up too before the sack. Like it was kind of like, this is on, folks. Like this is now DEFCON 1. You got to get the president on the horn. I'm using a War Games reference, everybody. I know it's old, but so am I guess.
Odell update, Rich.
Yeah.
Ian Rappaport saying, per source,
it's an ACL,
believed
right?
to have torn his ACL.
Yeah, and so, I mean,
long road to
this is part of what happened last night, too, here. He's going off, 2 catches, 52 yards, and a score, and he's unguardable, and that changed the momentum. Yeah. And Aaron Donald changed it right back. It took a while for Stafford and Kupp to cash it in. So here's what I hope. I hope it's just a guy who's just thinking about how long the year was. COVID can just mess with a whole bunch of people, as we know. I'm just hoping that he sticks around, because if he does walk away, that changes a huge dynamic of how good this team can be in a title defense. I mean, I know they might have a problem getting everyone under the cap, and him departing might help with that, but
Robert Woods will be back too. You got to remember.
No, dude, this guy is beyond. And Warren Sapp's in studio tomorrow, and I just want to hear him talk on it because obviously he's played the position. He knows what Donald is and does, and he's 99 himself. But he is the guy that doesn't show up on the stat sheet and changes everything. He's that guy.
Right, when he's getting double.
When A'Shawn Robinson sacks somebody, just look at the film and see what happened.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that A'Shawn Robinson can't sack somebody. I'm just using him as an example of somebody else who's not mentioned on that line. And Vaughn and Leonard Floyd can affect that too.
Yeah.
But if you have those guys there and you can game 99 into single blocking,
I don't think anyone would ever do that.
but it happens. Like you can mess with the
Yeah.
I mean, Kurt Warner was showing some great XO footage on the 8.5 hours yesterday of how they can move people around, and you think they're going to do one thing, and all of a sudden your protection scheme winds up because of what games the Rams are playing with 99 having only one guy blocking him, and that's a problem.
Yeah, that's not good.
And they knew last night it's fourth down. When they call a pass play, they knew one guy that you had to put more than one guy on. And he just bum rushed. I hope he doesn't retire. Just for the sake of the Rams. And also for our sake, watching a guy like this. This is, honestly, if he keeps going and he keeps doing this year after year after year, and he wins another Defensive Player of the Year award, and he does get another ring, we are going to be talking about him
Rushmore.
like, dude, we're talking to him about LT, and we're talking about Reggie White. You name any defensive player that you think is a GOAT, and this guy's in that mix, and he has that opportunity. And you could say if he does that right now, he's retired, but there's still arguments to be had, and I don't know if he cares about that sort of thing. It won't matter if he wants to be with his family. He thinks he's generationally wealthy enough, but there's another contract coming for him at some point, and it's going to come, and it's going to be insane. So hopefully he takes the time, but he did not give you you get out of here with that talk.
Yeah,
he gave you that conversation of like, stay tuned for my podcast with Jim Gray next week.
Or I'll come on the Rich Eisen Show.
Well, that's the obvious.
Yeah, I mean.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.